The vast majority of farmers in the world are opposed to WTO rules. We can only change something by building strong alliances with farmers in the south.
Avec les paysans du sud.
There is a fight between two agricultural models. The agro-industry on one side, and on the other side a model we defend, in which the farmer and his family are central, in which farmers produce food for themselves and especially for Brazilians.
Bom, a nossa propriedade é o que a gente...
In our farm we grow cereals, maize and soy. We cultivate 430 hectares. Almost all the small farmers in this area have sold their farm to buy land in Mato Grosso.
A propriedade mais pequena aqui vendeu aqui para comprar uma área no Mato Grosso do Norte.
Large-scale agriculture is progressing everywhere in Brazil. Everything has to give way, forests and nature alike. In this country there's no place for people. Almost everybody has to move to towns or elsewhere. Until 3 years ago, we had a good yield. We had the best profits ever, and as far as I was concerned, the situation could last forever. Then production costs increased and the soy price decreased. We had 2 years of drought and the prices kept dropping year after year. In 2005, Brazil exported 20 million tons of soy to Europe. Gilles Bedel owns a farm with 300 hectares with, among other things, 130 cows, yearly producing 1.1 million litres of milk. The cows are fed once a day in the morning. In France we lack proteins. The proteins are mainly coming from Brazilian soy.
Principalement le soja, donc qui vient du Brésil.
We plant a diversified flora in the pasture, and there's also the natural flora one can see here. This provides a very varied flora. The farm of Joseph Templier has a surface of 42 hectares and 25 cows that yearly produce 115,000 litres.
Nous le faisons depuis plus de 15 ans.
For more than 15 years we have been producing milk with only grass, no foreign proteins, no soy from Latin America, the US or Canada.
D'Amérique latine ou autre, aux États-Unis ou Canada.
Of course, there is the fall of market prices that will even further decrease our margins. For me, the strategy is simple. Intensify the production even more, a constant increase in productivity of cows and extension of the farm.
Non, je ne pense pas l'intensification n'apporte pas.
No, intensification is no solution. The World Trade Organization and the European agricultural policy are completely opposed to biological or sustainable agriculture. We only receive 50 euros of subsidies per hectare, while some farmers receive 400 euro per hectare. This cow is waiting until the other one leaves, then she will enter. You'll see the connection of the others. This European subsidy system leads to more and more production from large farmers, more and more automation. One robot automatically milks 50 cows. This system is very convenient, but more supervision is required. There, a failure. Cow number 80 has a problem.
C'est une ferme de 38 hectares, c'est-à-dire qu'elle est...
I have a farm of 38 hectares, less than the average of 50 hectares. I have 180 sheep for meat and 3 poultry houses for chickens with label.
Oui, allô Dominique, je pensais...
We of the Confédération Paysanne support the principle of fair trade.
On soutient le principe du commerce équitable.
Tonight René is participating in a debate on fair trade. He will also formulate his criticism on the European agricultural policy.
Ces sommes d'argent nécessaires à l'agriculture.
The support essential for the agriculture is now hogged by 20% of the European farmers. We use them to compete with and to starve farmers in the south. The agricultural support has to be better divided.
Est-ce que vous trouvez normal?
Do you think it's normal we continue to subsidize overproduction in Europe when this implies the disappearance of farmers in the East, in Africa or elsewhere?
La disparition des paysans, qu'ils soient dans les pays de l'Est, qu'ils soient en Afrique ou ailleurs.
In Hong Kong, the World Trade Organization is meeting. These meetings are no longer the exclusive work area of diplomats and industrial lobbyists.
On the inside.
Farmers have also found a way to defend their interests. The past years they held their own preparatory meetings and met at the WTO meetings.
50 millions de paysans chaque année.
Every year, 50 million farmers quit because the economic rules force them to.
A liberalização do comércio agrícola e a desregularização são
The liberalization of agricultural trade and the absence of regulation cause a lot of damage in the world.
fome,
Hunger, unemployment, inequality, poverty.
pobreza.
The Senegalese Ndiogou Fall is also in Hong Kong. He leads the West African farmer organization, ROPA. On his own farm, Ndiogou feels the liberalization of agricultural markets.
I
don't have a lot of milk, less than 100 liters a day. But even then I sometimes have problems to sell on the local market. In every shop you can find bags of milk powder from Europe or somewhere else. These bags don't even cost 8 euro cents per liter. If we cannot sell at 50 cents per liter, we don't cover the costs. It is not my fault or that of the consumers. It's our national agricultural policy that has to change.
C'est la politique agricole du pays. Il faut qu'elle change.
Ça, c'est lait en poudre.
This is milk powder from the Netherlands. It is not the same as Senegalese milk. This is how you make it. One bag costs 8 euro cents.
On le met avec du lait.
We add some water, a bit of salt, and 5 hours later it becomes like this milk.
Comme c'est lait.
Senegal imports twice the quantity of milk products that it produces, and 4/5 comes from Europe. Products based on milk powder are sold everywhere. In Dakar we have more than 500 vending points, and even more in the interior, in the 11 regions of Senegal. This cannot function. Europe has subsidies. We receive nothing from our state. For everything you see here, there are no subsidies. If I have to compete with Europe through free trade agreements, this will kill my farm. This is why we cannot accept this system. Therefore, we ask our ministers to stop this liberalization at national, regional and international level. It is a shame the Brazilian government policy gives priority to the export model. In Chapecó, South Brazil, Sadia and other agro-industrial enterprises are working at full speed, day and night. Hundreds and hundreds of trucks are driving on Brazilian highways to transport the production of our agricultural companies. This truck transports chickens and turkeys that after processing are sold in supermarkets throughout Brazil. Paulo Baleng and his wife Marcia are producing for themselves and for the local market, but they are mainly depending on the export-oriented agro-industry. We work for a large agro-industrial company, an integrator. They provide the chickens, feed and technical support. We deliver the labor, installations and everything that is necessary to breed chickens. Our revenue decreases year after year. We started in 2002. We were on the market and saw that nobody sold cheese. You control everything, production, processing and sales. You're independent, it's a very good thing. Clairton is Paulo's brother. He got fed up with the dependence on cereal production. Together with his wife Rosangela, they chose another way. If we would sell the milk, we'd receive a maximum of 15 to 16 eurocent. With the processing into cheese, we receive almost 30 eurocent. Production for the local market guarantees our income. Export production can cause more difficulties. The problem is the bird flu, which is a major concern. The company claims new investments, which are very expensive. We are merely providers of raw materials. If we are useful and adapt to the model and technologies, we are integrated. If this is no longer the case, we are excluded. This is the logic. I love my actual work because under the hot sun of more than 30 degrees from the morning to the night and without any result, we never had money. Now we have money coming in every week. Compared to when we cultivated cereals, we are gaining in 3 months what we earned in 1 year, and with 90% less risk.
E com risco de 90% a menos do que se tem na lavoura.
We are set aside because we don't have anything to say. We can only nod. The production is increasing, but with less families, and hundreds of thousands of people are excluded. We are questioning this model. Our alternative is that farmers organize production, processing and sales. Every year, Europe imports Brazilian chickens for approximately €500 million. The chicken industry has also globalized, next to more independence for farmers. René sees another solution.
La notion de prix minimum rémunérateur.
A profitable minimum price prevents that one buys chickens in Brazil to break the prices here. That is what we have to stop.
Voilà, alors, nous sommes des paysans.
We defend sustainable agriculture. We always keep in mind the balance between three dimensions. The economic, it's unavoidable, the ecological as a permanent concern, and a social function, to the extent that we want to share the production means instead of concentrating them. And we want to enable as much farmers as possible to lead a decent life from their work.
L'agriculture telle qu'on produit en agriculture bio ou en agriculture durable.
Biological or sustainable agriculture has a future to the extent that producers can find their way to consumers. Instead of selling his milk, Pierre-Yves prefers to process it in own management into better paid products. He sells these products through Voisins de Panier. Here you have my products. There is a natural yogurt, this is the basis, and to this natural yogurt we add real jam.
Alors au niveau des adhérents, là on est à peu près à 200 adhérents.
There are some 200 members and we deliver approximately 80 baskets a week. Some 50 producers are collaborating with us.
Il y a une cinquantaine de producteurs qui travaillent avec nous. Et puis qu'on garantisse aussi.
We guarantee a proper revenue for their work.
Le travail qu'ils font.
De l'excellent thé, il est très très bon ce thé. Et puis en plus on fait marcher.
Excellent tea, very good tea. And this way you stimulate local producers. Civilians have to take their own matters in hands and co-develop this alternative to supermarkets. Because politics don't provide a balance between both systems.
La balance, l'équilibre qu'il devrait y avoir entre ces deux systèmes.
In the current global agriculture, the milk and cereal overproduction is shipped to Africa. Senegalese farmers are not happy with the new eating habits. Lunchtime. No French bread for Ndiogou and his family.
Voilà, ça c'est du lach. Lach c'est le nom local.
This is lach, like we say it over here, the traditional meal based on sorghum and milk. But it is more and more substituted in eating habits by French bread, coffee and foreign milk powder.
La baguette de pain, le Nescafé, le lait en poudre qui vient de l'extérieur.
This way, the Senegalese farmer loses his market. Ndiogou wants the government to stimulate a local food industry. Not everybody can continue to work as a farmer. My children won't be farmers. If in the town of Meke or in my village nearby there would be a small factory to make couscous from sorghum, some of the youngsters could find a job in there, instead of leaving for Spain in boats. The herds in the north and east of the country are large, the profits less so. Awa Diallo owns milk cows and leads the organization of female cow herds, counting 20,000 members.
The
Senegalese government has no cattle breeding policy, while cattle breeding has an important place in our economy and in food security of the population. The female cow herds decided to take the processing and sales of their milk into their own hands. The protocol is signed. From the 8th, They will deliver us 5,000 liters a week. This enables us to go to the supermarkets. We produce 400 to 600 liters a day, and we can go up to 800 or 850 a day. For the sales of curdled milk, the female cowherds have already opened 21 stands in the streets of the capital, Dakar. We sell couscous,